very good morning and welcome to HallowMace Radio on Democracy Radio 104.9 Abuja. This morning we'll be taking a look at the list of Ambassadorial nominees, 30 of them who had three earlier last week, sent by Mr. President to the National Assembly. This time around, a statement coming from the State House has given out additional 30 names, and Nigerians are going to discuss names of these individuals who may be representing them in several countries of the world. But before we go into all of that on this edition, let's quickly take a look at the news that came out late yesterday in the evening, the resignation of the Minister of Defense. And that news did come out pretty late yesterday and left newsrooms busy as usual, with editors changing the headlines late yesterday evening. But we will go into that before I will let my guest speak on the list of ambassadorial nominees. Well, with us in the studio today, we have Ivotu. Ivotu is a regular here who has, you are of the Labour Party, and I'm sure your party is still intact. How are you, Barry? Good morning.
I'm fine. Good morning. Thank you, Nigeria, for having me, and I'm very sure that today will be a splendid day.
All right. Yeah, it's already dry season, and we know that during dry season, things don't get messy, they get dry. All right, good morning, Adai, Edwin Adai. He's the CEO, African Institute Statecraft. Good morning, Adai. And this is not the first time you're coming to the city, is it?
Yeah, of course. I think this is my second time here. Good morning, Nigerians. African Institute for Statecraft International.
That's right. Welcome, both of you, this morning on Democracy Radio, on HallowMace Democracy Radio 104. But, gentlemen, let's begin with I'll begin with you, Adai. Let's begin with the news that came out yesterday, the resignation of the former Minister of Defense, Adai.
Well, I think that I saw that news very late yesterday night, and I actually want to understand the rationale behind why a sitting Minister of what is supposedly known as a juicy, high-profile office like the Ministry of Defense to suddenly just put up a resignation letter. So I actually want to understand the rationale behind his resignation. But when I probe into the rationale behind the resignation, I was surprised to see that from the report available, he literally resigned on health ground. I think that, having read that, I think it is so obvious that whatever that will make a man resign is justifiable. That from the report available and from his resignation reasons, he resigned on health ground. So but of course, yesterday I also read some controversy surrounding the fact that he was allegedly forced to resign, according to what I read from social media angle. So, but basically, officially, I think it was widely reported that he's on head ground. So, except maybe when we begin to hear contrary opinion or reasons or justification behind that resignation, I think for now that would be substantive reasons for us to justify that truly. Of course, any man can resign on head ground. I don't think there's any conflict of interest there. Yeah.
And that wouldn't be the first time because the former chairman of PDP, Gambiji, also was said to have resigned on head grounds. Now, Barry Ivotu Johnson.
Yes.
Last week the Senate did say it was set to rejig its security-related committees as a result of this security all over the country. And that they will advise Mr. President to also take another look at the security infrastructure and do something about it. Could this be as a result of the move by the lawmakers?
Well, I just want to tell you that whether you like it or not, people will say we're opposition. That's why we want to speak the way we speak. But this National Assembly is even more than a rubber stamp. This National Assembly remains a snail like National Assembly. It's a dog that can bite. And the Ahmed Bola Tinubu administration has swallowed the National Assembly. It's tactically in the pocket of the presidency. So whatever he does doesn't hold water at all. The decision for the minister's resignation is clear. No African, most especially Nigerian, we don't have it as our culture to resign even when we are dying. Show me one Nigerian that has resigned because he's dying. Show me one Nigerian that has resigned even when he's caught as a thief. Show me. He was forced out of the system because of the incapability of his work. Whether you like it or not, it is clear. I don't think I know. I am a Nigerian. I'm a citizen of this country. I can speak what I see. Let him take me to court. That's the truth. He was shown the way out because of no capacity. Are you not seeing what's happening? Moreover, in the first place, look at the issue of his credentials. What will make an accountant become the defense minister? Tell me. Are you saying we don't have experts in Nigeria who are tutored in security matters? Must he be the minister in the first place? We have a lot of people who have the qualification to become the best minister of defense. Was that position given? So exactly what was the decision taken by the Ahmed Bola Tinubu APC's administration before he was appointed? Even the Matawale himself, the former governor. I think this defense minister is the former governor of Jigawa State. He's an accountant. What is the business of an accountant with the issues of security? The issues of the defense of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in a time when Boko Haram has walloped the whole country. I think it's time for us to start doing the right thing, and it's a good one for the president to start scheming. Because if an accountant can be the chief of defense can be the defense minister, I think me here as a political scientist, and I should be the next chief of defense staff. I should be the next minister of defense. Because political science is even better to really bring out issues of security and peace and conflict resolution in a country.
Right. If you're listening to us, with me in the studio, Adai, Edwin Adai, CEO, African Institute Statecraft, and also Barry Ivotu Johnson, Deputy National Youth Leader, Labour Party. And you can call us on this number as we move on, 0810-885-1189. That is 0810-885-1189 to contribute to what we're discussing today. Let me just have two of you say something on this before we move to the main topic of the day. Well, Adai, do you think this change will bring results? Especially when we have a former chief of defense staff now moving to become possibly the Minister of Defense.
Well, first and foremost, I'm a nationalist. I'm very, very optimistic in every ramification. I look forward to a better Nigeria. It doesn't really matter whether you are ABC, whether you are a PDP, or you are a Labour Party in the saddle of affair. What is our desire really for this country to see a better country where insecurity can be a thing of the past, where the economy of Nigeria will be working optimally, where we can see that unemployment rate has reduced drastically, where we can see education in its optimal level, where the health sector can improve and all of that, not just security, and all of that. Yes, it's appalling and very sad that recently we've seen a situation where a lot of people have been killed, the incident that happens in Niger State, what happens in Kwara State, Plateau State. Like, essentially, every part of the country is, in turmoil because of these insurgencies and the banditry that has ravaged the entire system. It's a very sad situation in a country where we pride our military as the best in Africa. And I think it's sad for us to be in the age of technology where everything has literally improved, we see, in fact, let me even digress a little bit because yesterday I saw, a drone, from Enugu State, and then, so we are saying that in a nation or in a system whereby there is high level of technology, we have AI, access to information and intelligence is literally not like the days of the analog. Recently we heard why, the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, with all due respect, vibrating, that in their days, it wasn't as if the capacity were in there, but the corresponding technology that would have, supported them to go up there was, essentially lacking at that time. But here we are, we're in the age of high-level technology. I do not see any reason why a sophisticated military like the Nigerian army, where we have gallant men and women on daily basis, in the military are being killed, And then recently we saw a situation where a major general, I am a son of a military man. I grew up in the barracks. I knew how my father prided himself as a military man, an infantry soldier. You can't, when we were in the barracks, you cannot even kill a military dog, not to talk of killing a general. The whole country would have been in turmoil. You kill an army dog, I'm not talking of the son or a daughter of an army. You dare not. You dare not even kill an army chicken or a chicken or a sheep. But I can tell you from experience, they will come hard on you. Today, we saw a situation where a major general, do you know what it is to grow to the rank of a major general? I know what it is because I'm a son of a proud military man. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So essentially, I am optimistic. I look forward to see a better security architecture. I look forward to seeing a Nigerian army well equipped with technology and advanced skills that will put them in a situation where, let me tell you, just like what a lot of people quoted Sani Abacha of saying that any security situation that exceeded 24 hours, the government hand has in it. And if we don't want to tag this government complicit, that they are aiding and abating crime, of course they must come out clear, rejig the system, remove whosoever they want to remove, and ensure that the right people who actually have the interest of this country at heart can be in the saddle of things, because indeed we have the capacity. And Nigeria is not broke so much so that we cannot get the necessary technology that will help us, to enhance surveillance. If Enugu State can do it, why the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Okay, Adai. Let's Ivotu.
Yes.
Sorry. Are you optimistic like Adai?
Well, just like what he said, I'm weeping in my heart, in my spirit, after hearing what he just said about you daring to kill an animal belonging to a military, not even a general. Not even a general. In our days when we were younger, and you say NMS, it's a prestigious school. NDA is a prestigious school. Now a lot of people are leaving the military because of the kind of democracy that we have decided to operate, where it's filled with impunity. I think the president of Nigeria needs to start doing something about how that general was killed. We need to bring this to the point where the life of a Nigerian soldier must also be protected and cherished by the Nigerian people. Boko Haram, terrorism in Nigeria, we have seen it all. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to be plain, I'm going to be straightforward. The administration of Ahmed Bola Tinubu in the APC is complicit to the terrorism activities in this country since 2015. We have seen it, and that's it. This is a country.
How do you mean?
I mean, when an administration rejig and put back terrorists into the military. How can you enlist terrorists into the police force? How can you enlist terrorists into the army? That is a romance. It's not denied. The world saw it. How much did Babangida Zulum of Borno State, how much did he spend on terrorism activity to have repented people? We saw it in Kano. We saw it in Katsina. It's wrong. That's what we are saying. This APC government is in romance with terrorism. And it's a fault. That is why presidents like Donald Trump could come out and say we are a disgraced country. Okay. It is not acceptable to negotiate with a terrorist. The world standard is that you clear them. Okay. And we have not seen that in this administration.
So we not so much on this, so it's just an aside we wanted to do. But the government also says it's really fighting. But we're watching, and with some of these rejiggings and movements, maybe we'll see a better time ahead. Now, gentlemen, let's talk about the list of 30 career and non-career. We're not going to go through the list one after the other, but you know some of the individuals who are on this list that have made some people to react and say, look, this is some we describe as good, but others say, okay, well, this person, let's see if it will change or so. But you know, each time a list of that nature is raised, comments about these names may likely get to the Senate this week. The National Assembly will sit in today and Wednesday and all of that. So let's see. Let's talk ourselves through that list. Some see it as a move by the president to bridge all the gaps internationally, diplomatically, that has remained open since the former ambassadors were recalled when they assumed office. Adai, what is your take on this?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to address this issue in a very subtle way. Number one, I need to really understand the rationale behind why it took the president this whole time for him to essentially deem it fit to begin to appoint the ambassadors to represent us, diplomatically in different, countries. What exactly? I could remember very well in 1999, it literally didn't take President Obasanjo less than 4 months for him to nominate and also screen the ambassadors. The same thing with the Jonathan administration, it's less than 3 months. Those dignitaries and diplomats were sent and all of that. I really want to understand the justification behind the delay. What is really the reasons? Because of course, as a sovereign nation, like the world is globally oriented now. And therefore there is an interface between your country and other country of the world in terms of trade, in terms of political engagement, in terms of conversation that has to do with, United Nations, conversation that has to do with, how the AU can strengthen themselves, ECOWAS and all of that. So who is really representing Nigeria in this top echelon all this while? So that makes me feel perhaps that the government is essentially maybe not ready, not prepared enough, because all of these offices are very high-profile offices that must be taken into serious consideration for any serious government to at least pre-plan before becoming, even setting up a government. That is one question that I think you journalists should need to ask the president what exactly is the justification behind, this long time, literally more than 2 years now, in his ascension into office, and he's bringing to that is by the side. Yes, I was going through the social media yesterday. 2 names actually became very prominent in the face of this criticism. One is the former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, and then the other one is Reno Mokri and all of that. And from the public opinion that I've been able to gather and able to read through, the different social media platforms, There's an allegation that these people are not stable-minded. Some say they speak from both sides of their mouth. Some say they are not diplomatic and not because, of course, those who hold those dissenting views, you have to give it to them because you know why. Anybody who is representing Nigeria or who is an ambassador of Nigeria, they call them, there's a popular name they call them, all right, apart from diplomat, right?
Envoy?
No, I'll remember.
All right.
The point is that you are representing the federal, you are the face of the country, you are the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in that country. And what essentially that means is that you carry the burden of governance, and therefore you are the embodiment of governance, you are the embodiment of politics, you are the embodiment of trade, you are the embodiment of economic activities in that country that you're representing. Your philosophy and ideology will be shaped by the program and the policy of the government, and therefore you are like the president. And therefore, it is expected that due diligence must be done. A wide consultation must, be carried out. You must go and do a proper background check to look at the quality and the capacity of those who are bringing to represent us. Because if not, you begin to hear a different story. Our image, as far as the international community is concerned, is very, very depreciated because of issue of terrorism and bad governance and corruption here and there. So we need people who are actually, well-equipped intellectually, well-matured, that can engage diplomatically with this community of nations.
Okay.
And of course, if we are beginning to see a situation where people who are supposedly, allegedly claim to be people of below that, quality of, and all of that to represent us, I think it's something that the presidency needs to look into it very well, because we have a lot of people who have the capacity and the potential to actually represent us in that high level of diplomatic engagement.
Barry,
yes.
It is the job of the Senate to screen these individuals.
That's right.
How do you find the list in the first place before?
Well, the list, if I tell you we agree with the list, I'm just here to just say something that is not correct. We are not in agreement with the list. Nigerians are already criticizing, like he said, the issues of, we should also look at issues of lack of merit from these individuals. Many nominees are seen as political loyalists, people who talk from the two sides of their mouths. And we saw that the list has issues of regional imbalance. The regional imbalance. The list is towards you. You can see that it has the issue of having one region have 11 people, Southwest. So we want to ask Mr. President: is Nigeria? Is he running a Nigeria a Yoruba presidency that he has to do this every time? We have the issue of conflict of interest and the conclusion of using someone who has a total bad name to become an ambassador. Mahmoud Yakubu, former INEC chairman.
How do you mean bad name?
He rigged the election in the issues of, no, that has passed. It has passed, but you know that the word Mahmoud Yakubu representing Nigeria as president of Nigeria abroad. It is wrong. It is totally wrong. Nigeria say no, and that's it.
Barry, that's an allegation.
No, it's an allegation that the whole world saw. You know what happens when Mahmoud Yakubu was INEC chairman in this country.
I know.
Mahmoud Yakubu should be the least person that should be on that list. We are saying it, we are calling names because we are Nigerians. We have to speak true to our democracy. This is Nigeria. We are all Nigerians. Allow us to speak. It's our personal conviction that people like Mahmoud Yakubu, people like Rino Mokri, people like Fanika Ede, who are already members and citizens and customers of the EFCC should now represent Nigeria.
You can say you do not like his inclusion as a former INEC chairman, but to say he has a bad name, and you say
somebody who does not respect the rule of law has a good name. Mahmoud Yakubu, the former chairman of INEC, has a bad name as an individual. He should not represent Nigeria. You see, our kind of statements are straightforward. If you disagree with us, take us to court.
No, but
so that the courts can tell us whether you are good or you are bad.
When you say,
this is about Nigeria.
When you say we, are you referring to your party, the Labour Party?
I'm referring to Nigerians. I'm a Nigerian first. I'm not here to talk about Labour Party. I'm here to speak on the issue of the correctness. Adai. So please, before he goes,
I'm just asking because he was reacting. Yes. He was reacting to your comment.
The issues of questionable characters. Fani Kayode? Reno Mokri? Come on, let's look. Nigeria is over 250 million people. Are you telling us that we don't have people that will be appointed? Exclusion of the FCT. The FCT don't have representatives. The FCT does not have anybody that can go there as an ambassador. Check the list. We have scrutinized it.
The 30 more
lack of transparency.
We have more names are coming.
These first names that have come, why not balance it? Why do you want to do the balancing in the order? Why are you making us talk? Why is this government making us talk? It is time for this government to understand that Nigeria has been brought to its knees. You are not free to walk anywhere. You are not free to worship. You are not free to go to the market, to go to the schools, and you tell us you hit the polity at every opportunity given to you as a government. Those who are handling Ahmed Bola Tinubu must listen. They must understand that governance is about the people. They must understand that Nigeria is not under a military government. They must understand that democracy is about the people. They must understand that it's time for Nigeria to move forward.
These individuals have not become ambassadors yet.
But putting their name alone is hitting the polity.
I agree with you that
putting their name alone hitting the polity.
It is the job of the executive to submit names, and it is the job of the Senate to screen this individual.
If Bola Tinubu does not have names, he is not connected to people. Let him cry to Nigerians. Nigerians will nominate people. We have the civil society. This young man is doing something nobody has done in Africa with his NGO. If you come to him and say the craft of Nigeria of governance in Nigeria, please can you help us as a consultant who live in Nigeria, who work in Nigeria, who understand the politics in Nigeria, give us names like nomination.
Okay,
he will do it, and they will get quality people. Look at the name of one Kalu there. The name of former governor, I'm not sure about that. Somebody who was a lawyer in London. Somebody who has no information about Nigeria.
Okay,
they should come and be scrutinized by the Nigerian people even before they go to the Senate. Let's hold a market town hall meeting. Let them come and sit down. Let's ask them questions who they are and what is their pedigree for being on the list.
All right. Thank you, Barry Ivotu, for expressing your opinion there. Adai, you heard him. Let me ask you, we have had under this administration people whose names were submitted to the Senate and who failed to scale the hurdle. One of them, the former governor of Ambassadorial, and some other places. So it's not as if that the Senate will sit back and not do the right thing. And I don't nobody want to blame the president for nomination. These are Nigerians, in spite of whatever we think about them. So it is the job of the Senate to take a look at some of these criticisms, especially from individuals like Barry, and see what can be done. But what I'm trying to find out is, isn't this so size in a bid to bridge the gap? That was the question I asked you before, Adai. To bridge the gap, there was vacuum before now.
Well, ultimately, let me put it this way. It is the right of Mr. President to nominate anybody he wants to nominate. If he chooses to nominate a cow, he can nominate a cow. If he chooses to nominate a chicken, he can nominate a chicken. If he chooses to nominate a criminal, he can nominate a criminal. If he chooses to nominate a scholar or a professor, it is within his jurisprudence to do so. Don't forget that the political party constitutes the good and the bad and the ugly. And as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a lot of people contributed to his emergence as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Whether you like it or not, in a political party, we have a situation where we have good people, we have bad people. And of course, if among the good people, some bad people actually did their own hatchet job very well, and the president felt, okay, it is my responsibility to reward them, that is his prerogative to do so. But in democracy, there's what we call checks and balances. In democracy, there's what we call separation of power. Yes, what do we want as a nation? And that is where the National Assembly comes in here. Their responsibility is to check. Their responsibility is to approve or to disapprove. It is their responsibility to appropriate and to reprobate. It is their responsibility to conduct the necessary oversight to see and perhaps listen to the yearning of Nigerians to scrutinize these various individuals that have come to the fore. So, however, I am not blaming Mr. President for his nomination. I will blame the National Assembly for whosoever that scaled through. If indeed the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is representing us, both the Green and the Red Chamber, respectively, then it is up to them to do their due diligence. The Senate, the House of Representatives must ensure that whosoever that the President nominated, he must be properly screened. The proper background check must be conducted. Security intelligence report must be gathered to see that we don't nominate or screen people that will go out there to disgrace us. So yes, the President can nominate. It is for us to choose among his nominees who to represent us. And for me, we are not going to overflog or try to whip the President so much, even though he has his own baggages that he's carrying. Not everything he does that I'm in conformity with. But of course, the National Assembly must be up and doing. Separation of power, yes, that is the beauty of democracy. Public opinion is also political engagement. And the media is the fourth estate of the realm. So you carry out the news for people to look at it, let them criticize whatever they want to criticize, and then applaud whosoever they want to applaud. But it is our responsibility to look at the names of these people very well, help the National Assembly to do a proper background check, investigate these people. If possible, members of the civil society organization can write a petition and state it in clear terms. This is the reason why we don't want Mr. ABC. This is the reason why we don't want so and so person. And with that, of course, we'll be able to help the National Assembly. And of course, we expect them to have the political will to stand on their feet to say, on this social person we approve, on this social person we disapprove. Okay. And that is what we're expecting them to do.
Okay, just to remind you, Barry, that when the former governor of Kaduna State was dropped as a ministerial nominee, he was already introducing himself, right? Before a senator brought up a point of order, telling the Senate that he had a security report on the former governor. And at that point, that his screening was suspended.
Okay, please don't ask this question.
No, I'm asking a question. Hold on, Barry. Hold on, Barry. Hold on. So I'm giving an example where someone failed to become a minister. Now, this screening will be done either at the committee stage or in plenary. Okay. Because what I'm asking, you are asking for an open space. Yeah. And Adai has said, look, you can come up with a petition as a civil society member. Mm-hmm. So which one would you prefer, committee or open plenary for this screening?
Committee and open plenary at the same time.
Okay.
Yes, you can do it.
Okay.
Which National Assembly do you expect us to write a petition to? This National Assembly that is worse than the rubber stamp?
It's your National Assembly.
Yes. By law.
Yes.
By law, except you want to commit treason. This National Assembly that has no eyes to see. This National Assembly that is accused by the Nigerian people. This National Assembly that is confused. This National Assembly that has refused to do the needful.
This National Assembly that approves every request of Mr. President?
That's the National Assembly you have now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking you, is it the same National Assembly you want us to write petition to?
Okay, now.
No.
Okay. What do you want to do?
We want the government.
Okay, you accept that there's a government?
Of course, by law, Nigeria has Ahmed Bola Tinubu as its president.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not, it's just like what I said, except you want to commit treason.
Okay.
Right? Ahmed Bola Tinubu remains the president of Nigeria, but it does not mean we should not check his excesses. What we are talking about here is the excesses of the president. And it's a democracy, and we're free to speak our mind. This is my personal opinion. Okay? And I'm telling you now that the list, I've read out issues pertaining to that list. You can't have one region, have 11 people.
Okay,
how many?
Imbalance.
Yes, imbalance. How many ambassadorial numbers do we have?
30 more names are coming. That's what we had.
How many states do we have in Nigeria? How many do we have as special? So it means that just like what I told you about the minister that just resigned, an accountant, by chance, by hook or by crook, became a governor. And now he was a minister. So it means that anybody can be minister as far as you just go to the 4 walls of the university. You can even read English and become Minister of Defense in Nigeria.
Yeah, but that's what the law...
The Matawale guy that does not even have, I think it's just a school start. He's a Minister of Defense.
I think the requirement for being a minister is... they all...
In this level of civilization, what capacity does Matawale have to be appointed as minister in a country like Nigeria? Even when he was governor, his state was riddled with terrorism. See, look, we have to speak the truth. If we want Nigeria to have a new face, if we want Nigeria to move on, like my friend said behind doors, that Ahmed Bola Tinubu is a practical politician, which is true. He's trying to use his opportunity as government, as president, to survey the interests of those who helped him to power. Because if you check the list, most of the people who are there are not qualified. But who are we to speak? Like he said, the president has the right to enlist whosoever for any position, but he has no right to force the person of Nigeria.
Well, I don't know what you mean by people are not qualified. But let me...
They are not qualified for their character. For their, like Fani Kayode now that talks from 2 sides of his mouth. How can that person be the president of Nigeria in Japan or in the US? How can somebody like Reno be president of Nigeria in Switzerland? Just tell me the kind of things they will be doing. These are people with questionable characters.
Okay, let me give out the lines. Maybe our listener can join the conversation as we...
When people like us are here, they can't appoint us. Yes. Yes, I'm telling you. Well, it's not a request, but I'm telling you, this young man here, I sat with him at your reception before the program started. He is intelligent. Look at what he's doing. Which government is paying him for what he's doing? It's an NGO. His money, his time. He told me what he did in 2019. I doff my cap for him. But look at him here. Nobody's calling him to come and...
All right, don't worry, your time will come.
No, there's no time for anybody. The time for everybody is now. If you can't do it now, you can never do it again.
Okay, let me give the numbers. Maybe someone is listening and want to join the conversation. The number we have 08108851189. That is 08108851189. You'll be joining me here in the studio with Adai, Edwin Adai, CEO, Chief Executive Officer, African Institute Statecraft, and Barry Ivotu Johnson, Deputy National Youth Leader, Labour Party. Please do not call that number and join us on HallowMace on Democracy Radio 101. We're looking at the ambassadorial list. Should we say hope or illusion? Nigerians are divided over. But I think it was, my take is that it is good to have them come in and then Nigerians can see them perform. Now, barring any last minute changes, these names will be brought to the Senate this week and be screened, both either at the committee stage or plenary. Like Ivotu said, it can't be two. It's either the Senate decides to have an open screening where live TV will be on, or the committee.
And invite us to ask questions from the civil society.
Yes, or no, that's if it's in plenary, it will be televised. Yeah. Even at the committee stage, you may have the opportunity, but I don't think the Committee on Foreign Affairs will be able to carry out that. It's a large-scale thing, Barry.
But they need to invite the people.
Yeah, but you can start putting up your petitions.
And petitions can be put up in 5 seconds. These are people we know. These are people who have committed crime in Nigeria and abroad.
Well, that's your opinion, Barry. Let's move on and see if the calls are coming in. But let's see how we can. Please do call us. We just lost a call now while we're talking. Now, Adai, you. As we have talked about an ambassador being a true representative of the president. In fact, the president in another country. Let's see how this call comes in. Hello, good morning. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Oh, this call is not coming in. Let's... Hello, good morning. Okay. It's not coming in. Please do call us back. The number 08108851189. Sorry about I think there's a difficulty in the calls. I was asking that you have said that an ambassador is the representative of the president in another country. This call is coming in. Let's see if we can. Hello, good morning. Hello? 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 Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, it's sad that we can't have anyone join us on this show. Hello, good morning. Okay. So, how, you talk about how well equipped that individual should be and the perception of the country of posting, how they will see him or her as a representative of the president. Well, would you say that individuals like that can be found on this list?
Well, I think first and foremost, we need to...
Sorry, let's hold your thought. Let's see what happens. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, we can also hear you. Please go ahead.
Issue of Mahmoud Yakubu that the other guy said, I didn't support him.
Tell us your name first.
My name is Tony from Asokoro.
Okay, Tony from Asokoro, please go ahead.
Yeah. When we talk of issue of terrorism in Nigeria, if you put out, it will as if to say something will be happening differently for the individual that took out. Like, what is happening in this country? I don't know, people cannot talk, and they are there. They see what is happening. I don't know whether they are afraid. The people that have been seen, if you could remember that some years back, Fashola said when the Boko Haram went to Lagos State, that time he was the governor of Lagos State. He said if anybody comes to Lagos to terrorize or to to take anybody from Lagos State, you measure all the people. Can you tell me that those people now, such people like Fashola, they don't know anybody about terrorism? Okay, what Gumi is saying, and nobody can even go and question him and take him. Apart from that, the issue of Mahmoud Yakubu, what the other man says is true. He's not competent enough to represent us. A person that failed us in the election that passed, totally failed us. So we don't support. In times of terrorism in Nigeria, there's gadget, there's equipment. If they want to do it, they will do it. But they don't want to do it. Doesn't mean that government don't know anything about it. So thank you.
All right, Tony, thanks for joining us. And the numbers, we're almost getting them. Adai, you were going to answer. I asked whether we can find individuals as you stipulated on the list.
Well, you see, first and foremost, democracy, a is a majoritarian government. What that means is that if you make your own decision and a very large number of people are saying no, this is not what we think, this decision is wrong. The beauty of democracy is that you have to listen to the voice of the people. Because if you don't, then of course you are not really practicing the tenets of democracy as it's described in the book. Nigeria is such a gifted country. God has blessed us with human and material resources. Go to our university, you see high-profile diplomats. Well, I can call them diplomats because they behave like them. They behave like it. You will see professors. There are some persons who are well trained from a very honorable background. We have individuals who have trained themselves, built capacity, well-behaved, shaped by culture and traditions and religion, and they are better human beings today. We have a lot of them littered across the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Learning the same is a permanent change in the attitude of an individual. I always make this quote. You know why I said so? You can be educated, but perhaps learning has not taken place. And those in a position of leadership must learn how to distinguish the well-learned people. Because that is why they say it is a change in an attitude of an individual. That you went to the four walls of a tertiary institutions and you come out with a PhD doesn't necessarily mean that learning has taken place. If you are still behaving like a tout, if you are still insulting people, if you don't have respect to the rule of law, if you don't have respect for the well-instituted authority that perhaps have been given the mandate to take a particular responsibility on behalf of the people of Nigeria. And therefore, it is expected that as a country, due diligence must and always must be taken very seriously. And I will emphasize on that. The reason is that we don't lack people. There is no tribe in this country today that you cannot produce or see a well-behaved, highly educated person by virtue of his psychological position, by virtue of his dispositions to, government activities and all of that. We have them in abundance. But the ability to do the rigorous work of identifying some of these people is the problem we have. We are too lazy to do what we are supposed to do. Okay. And governance or government is not a tea party. If you have called upon to take over the responsibility of governance or government, you must ensure that you do the heavy lifting to see to it that what is expected of the people, nothing falls short of it as far as governance and politics is concerned.
All right, Barry, as we begin to round up, what's your call to the National Assembly with regards to this ambassadorial list? And if you should have a call,
we are calling on the National Assembly, the leadership of Godswill Akpabio, to see it as a point of call for the first time since Nigerians are saying no and yes at the same time. They should provide us the privilege to screen these people ourselves. They are going to serve for the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians, not their personal pocket. The president of Nigeria, by the constitution of this country, provides him the power to appoint. And if we are running a democracy that defines itself as a system of government by and for the people, the president must do the needful. Listen to the voice of the people, which is the voice of God. Without the people, the president is non grata. Without the people, the president is nothing. What gives the president authority is the people. The mandate he's holding is what makes him president of Nigeria. And by the rule of the game, the president has sealed or signed that he will protect the lives of the Nigerian people. And one of the ways to protect the lives of Nigerian people is to provide positive leadership
for Nigeria. And one of the ways to provide positive leadership for Nigeria is to appoint the right people into the right positions for the good of Nigeria as a country. Like he said from the beginning, Nigeria is a bastardized country when it comes to the international community. This is time for governance, not for politics. So we should focus on trying to see a pathway where Nigeria can be cleaned from the bad name that we have. If you are looking for drug pushers, it's Nigeria, according to the international community. If you are looking for looters, it's Nigeria. If you are looking for people who lie about their age and their state of origin and their academics, it's Nigeria. Forgery is Nigeria. So, and Nigeria is not like that. So we need people who will go and help put Nigeria's name in the right proportion. And I repeat, Fani Kayode, Mahmoud Yakubu, and Reno, they are not that kind of people that we should vote for to represent Nigeria in the international community. So we are calling on the Senate, we are calling on the House to please, for the sake of even cleaning their own name, their own rubber stamp name, they should clean it to a better name by making sure that the Nigerian people have an infuse, like an inclusion in the issue of selecting these people. It's easy. Do it like a town hall meeting. Invite them, let them come and tell us who they are. Then we, the civil society, have the opportunity to ask them questions or to accuse them. This is where democracy now plays its course. I plead with the National Assembly on behalf of the Nigerian people and on behalf of my 25 million young people ready to vote in 2025. I'm talking about 2027. I'm talking about the new recruits, the new people who just became 18 years and above that will vote in 2027. I have them, they are 25 million, and I'm ready to trade with them for the good of Nigeria.
It's all right. Adai, just in a minute, your call to action.
Well, I think it's very simple. Government is a very serious business, and therefore it is expected that people with capacity